Well, welcome back to Vel, Ohio. Welcome to Thursday, May 14th, about 11 in the morning here, and I am in South Haven, Michigan, just east of Lake Michigan. I am at Lake Arvesta Farms. It looks to be sort of a recreational playground of aquatic activities with bars and grills and all sorts of family fun. But today, that is not what we're here for. Today we are here for the 2026 USA Triathlon Multisport National Championship Festival, a festival including multiple disciplines of triathlon, aquathlon, aquabike, and duathlon, with many of the events here qualifying participants for the World Championships in 2027, either taking place in Hamburg, Germany, or Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I will be competing in what I believe today, with an asterisk, is my A priority race of the year in the standard Aquabike. I am 44 years old now, and when I was 34 years old in 2016, I actually won my age group at the national championships in Miami, Florida. That was a bit of a warmer day. It is maybe 51, 52 degrees, but the sun is shining, so that is warming up the air and water temperatures for me a little bit. I think we'll have our typical 1,500 meter swim and then a 25.4 mile bike. It's 2 loops. I drove the course yesterday, and I would say it's your typical Midwestern chip and seal. So pressures on the 25 millimeter tires today are down around 75 PSI. Now, this is certainly the only national championship that I've been to that I had to jump aboard a tractor to get me from my car to the race venue, but it was fun and it was free, and it's all part of the experience. I have put together about 13 weeks of pretty good solid training on the way up. Leading up to this race, I did have a power PR on my Quintana Roo at the Blue Streak time trial, so I would say my fitness is where it needs to be. This is the first time that I've had a pool membership in about 9 years since I did the World Championships in Penticton, and for about 2 weeks it felt like, you know, nothing was changing, and then all of a sudden my swim speeds really picked up, so I'm happy with where my swim fitness is as well. 51 degrees, we have 7-mile-an-hour winds coming out of the northwest. I was planning on taking a little bit of race footage with the GoPro, and then hilariously yesterday NorCal Cycling dropped a video showing that an out front GoPro camera can cost you 16 watts of aero drag at 45k per hour. I'm gonna need every single stinking watt that I have, given the level of competition that's here at a national championship. And of course, the elephant in the room, yes, I've got the war paint on, as is my tradition for my A priority race. I've always done red in the past, but my kids told me that because it's the USA National Championships, I should try to mix in some blue. I have got to get a little warm up in on the bike, make sure that the bike feels fine. Then I got to get in the water, do a little swim warm up, pound some more carbs, pound some caffeine, maybe a photo montage is upcoming, and I'll check in with you guys after the race. And just like that, another national championships race is in the books. The 2026 Standard Aquabike National Champions in South Haven, Michigan. And how did it go? Well, it went all right. A couple race updates. The water, 59.3 degrees. That means it's not a wetsuit legal race, it is a wetsuit mandatory race. It was cold. It was so cold that they decided to shorten the swim distance from 1,500 meters to 1,000 meters, which in the scheme of things probably worked in my favor since I've just gotten back into swimming. I got in the water to do a little bit of a warm-up, and, you know, went into my knees, and I was thinking, it's pretty cold, but it's all right. As soon as I got chest deep, my lung capacity shrunk to 50% of normal. Everything just sort of like seized up. You know, just like that sort of ice cold plunge experience. Not that it was that cold, but I was thinking, oh no, I better not warm up. You know, I'll just go straight in and race. No, that would have been a bad idea. I really had to get used to the water, and I stayed in as long as I could, just so that my body would get used to the temperature, my body could settle down and say, okay, it's all right, you don't need to have a panic attack, because that actually happened to me in Chicago, 2015, I think. So I was pretty much toward the front of the race in the swim at the gun when it started, and my shortcomings in swimming became quickly apparent compared to those around me, and I would say at least half the field had gone by me by about 200 yards into the swim, 200 meters. We'll talk metric here. So, you know, just sighted the buoys as best as I could. When I did the turnaround at the 500 meter point, my body kind of loosened up. I was used to it at that point, so I think that I probably did a negative split on the swim, although when I was getting out, the fastest swimmers in the wave behind me were also getting out, so I knew that I was not having any sort of Michael Phelps performance. There was a fairly healthy run from the swim exit into transition, so somebody had suggested that I bring my flip-flops with me, which I've never done before, but that really saved my feet on the run back, although I was having trouble getting out of my wetsuit because I think I was just sort of hypoxic at that point and a little bit chilly. Onto the bike and onto the course. First lap, I did pass several of the people that had beaten me in the swim, and maybe just got passed by one or two people, but it took me almost that first lap just to get into cycling mode. My heart rate was, you know, a little depressed at that point. I really wasn't getting above 150. Coming into lap 2, however, I did settle in just like I had on the swim. Got the heart rate up to, you know, mid 160s as I typically do, and for the 25.2 miles or 0.4, I averaged 25.2 miles an hour. The power was a little bit low, but that's pretty good speed given that my wattage was only about 220. I was really shooting for about 230, 235 today, but I think, you know, that first lap held me back a little bit. Getting back into transition after the race, before my ceremonial finish line, I looked at the 40 to 44 rack and I only saw one bike. Deuces. I think that means I came in second place. So peace and love. That means I'm on the podium. That means I qualify for the World Championships in Hamburg, Germany. We'll see if I plan to do that. So all in all, not the most fun that I've ever had doing a race. Definitely more type 2 fun. I'm really happy to be in the sunshine now, happy that it's over. I'm gonna go back to the tractor, back to the hotel, shower up, and head back out here for the award ceremony, which would be in about 2.5 hours from now. What a strange host venue.
Off-road Athlete of the Year. Please welcome back Christian Kurakawa. Look at those guns. He's got the beard of the guns. Well done. Guess what category we're going next? We're going 13 to 19. All right, your champion on the men's side, Peter Nash. Well done, Peter, in 2:14.57.
smash cut to 3 months later, fresh off the heels of my second place at the Olympic distance Aquabike National Championships in Michigan. I find myself here in Penn Yan, New York for the first night Peasant Man Ultra Distance Aquabike National Championships. What the heck am I doing here? Am I not satisfied with second? One thing that I found out a few days before the Olympic Distance National Championship was that my particular event was qualifying for Hamburg, Germany, and not for Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, which is what I had been under the assumption of all that time. I'm happy to have qualified for Germany, but I'm not as interested in going to Germany given the financial commitment that goes along with it. So I looked into what other options do I have to get myself to Alberta, Canada, and I could do either the half distance or the ultra distance Aquabike National Championships. I was fortunate enough to go to Thailand for a week, so I was not able to get to Massachusetts for the half distance, and tomorrow I'll be racing the full. That is a major pivot from the Olympic, but I've gotten 6 weeks of heavy duty training in, often training 2 times a day, and I actually feel quite fit. I really just want to have the anxiety relief of finding myself tomorrow on the start line down at the lake, so that I can have a great incident-free race. So I'm going to try to post this right away. Very likely I will be literally doing the race tomorrow. Video to follow. Thanks a lot.